What's good, podcast people? Welcome to another episode of the Nerd Locker podcast. My name's Brandon.
I'm Patrick.
And this is Jimmy. And now a word from our sponsor. If you live in the Las Vegas area, please visit Maximum Comics for all your nerdy needs. They have 4 convenient locations around the valley. Every store has a great staff with a large selection of comic books, toys, games, apparel, and much more. Check them out online at MaximumComics.com or visit them at one of their locations. Tell them Nerd Locker sent you.
Damn, Jim, you should be doing this for real.
Right?
Man, you get me, I'll be there.
You're gonna be watching The Price is Right and be like, what are they gonna win? You're just gonna hear Jim be like, they're gonna win a fucking boat.
Dude,
that was
all show. Me and Drew would be hanging out.
Yeah, you guys both look the same too. That shit's funny.
Have you guys noticed that Drew Carey, like, look at him when he started doing Price is Right, and he's changing, and I'm not sure into what, but he's like, he's evolving. I think like in 10 years, he's just gonna look like Bob Barker again.
Right.
Bob Barker was probably like
Pierce Brosnan.
That was probably that's who he was before, and then he just slowly became Bob Barker from the original. Like, there's probably been like 4 Bob Barkers, and we haven't even noticed.
It's like
we'll just forget about Drew Carey.
It's Bob Barker. It's like the Forever Batman storyline where he's like clones himself over and over again.
Exactly. Just everybody who takes over Price is Right becomes Bob Barker, and it never stops. But anyways, guys, last week we had Throwdown Thursday on the Facebook page and the Instagram, and we asked who you thought would win in a fight between Frank Castle, the Punisher, and John Wick. And the results are in. That's my drum roll. I don't know how that's going to pick up. It's probably hella loud. But anyways, everybody, John Wick won the vote. He won by 2. So it was close. But yeah, everybody looks like John Wick would win if it were determined by the voters.
Yeah, and I think Jim put it best when we were talking about this after last week's podcast, was that, Frank Castle is a force of nature. He is just like a hurricane of bullets and blood and carnage heading towards you, where John Wick is a little bit more strategic in his thinking, and he's a little more precise, so he's like a scalpel, whereas Frank is the sledgehammer.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong on that.
Right. So,
but, see, I thought you were going to be like, well, listen here. Here's why everyone's wrong.
No. You have to, me speaking tactically, it would be a hard toss up for myself personally, just because both of them are a couple of my favorites. Frank obviously is my favorite. But at the same time, Frank works off of raw emotion, which isn't the best all the time. And it gets him through some very, very hard times, especially when he's getting shot all the time. Whereas John Wick is very, fuck, man, he takes people out with a pencil,
Yeah.
Frank, although Frank did take someone with a pencil too.
I was wondering, like, in comparison, how many times does Frank get shot in comparison to John Wick? Because there was a point, like, in the show where I'm like, I don't think a human can get shot this many times in this amount of time and still be cool. Because it's like, he bled out like 3 times, and it's like, right. How are you, like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, he has like piles of blood bags just waiting for him back at home.
He's got to in that fucking van of his.
Exactly, battle van.
All I gotta say is he's got to be a lot younger than he looks, because I understand getting shot and then getting healed, but he gets right back on the battlefield.
Yeah,
he's like 22.
And as an old man, you don't recover that quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
He's 22, but because he's gotten shot all the fucking time, he looks like he's in his late 30s.
Awesome. I definitely agree with that one. I had a platoon sergeant when I was in the Marine Corps, and just a real quick story. I had a platoon sergeant when I was in the Marine Corps when I was 20. I had to be 21 or something like that. and my platoon sergeant was 30. He was 30 years old. Dude looked like he was easily like 45, 50 years old. The Marine Corps does put some miles on your body. They say for every 1 year that you are a grunt in the Marine Corps, it does about 7 years worth of damage
It's
on your
dog
body.
years.
It is literally dog years. Because when I got out, it was like you fucked yourself up pretty good, Mr. Hayes. I was like, nice, good to know. So
Is that why you forgot how old you were for a while?
yeah. That and the constant blows to the head. But yeah, that was part of it.
I remember that day when you just were mad, and I was like, Pastor, what the fuck is your problem today? And you were like, I fucking remembered how old I was, and I haven't thought about that in years.
Yeah.
And now I'm mad about it.
Yep. There you go. It's like, oh, what? I can't run 3 miles in 19 minutes anymore? Shit.
I can't run like a mile in 19 minutes, so good on you, dude. Well, that's because I give up after half. I'm like, this takes too long. Fuck this. But anyways, guys, we got some stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Fox and Disney are probably coming to a deal here where Disney's going to buy Fox. And there's a lot more. I know initially, like us, comic book fans, we're like, fuck yeah, Wolverine, the X-Men, Fantastic Four, Deadpool, everybody in the Avengers universe, let's do this. But there are a lot bigger ramifications to this as well with other things like Family Guy, Simpsons, Bob's Burgers, a couple other things. So what are you guys' thoughts on this?
So for me, when I initially heard it, instantly you're as a comic book nerd, and your brain instantly goes to the Wolverine movies and X-Men movies, and like, thank God we could do a reset. Well, not so much in the Wolverine movies. I'll give Hugh Jackson his props, but the X-Men movies especially, we can get rid of the Bryan Singer era of X-Men movies. But as you start thinking about it, and I was looking at different people's feeds across the interwebs. Shout out to Tim Doyle too, by the way. His shit is hilarious, and he put it perfectly. He basically said that in one of his random posts, about the deal, is like, nerds think they want this, but they really don't. And I don't think it's so much a dig on the lack of intelligence of comic book nerds or anything like that, but it's just the excitability that we have towards the opportunities that lay ahead of us, as opposed to what that really means. Disney owns a lot of shit, and they own a lot of titles. They own a lot of IP out there, and having them own even more of it means that you're going to get this, I don't know, homogenized version of some of these properties, and that was just my overall feeling of it. I love the fact that Star Wars is well, take that back. I do and I don't like the idea that Star Wars is part of the Disney universe. Me and Jim, especially Jim, I don't know what your thoughts are on about it, but once they erased the books from the universe, I was kind of upset over that, and I'm still not really digging it, even though I'm really looking forward to the next movie. But
no, I agree with that. There's good and bad, and it hit me like in the face when I went and saw The Force Awakens, and James is talking about The Force Awakens and all these characters that he's read up on online and stuff, and it hit me. It's like, holy crap! I don't know anything about the Star Wars universe anymore, because all the books that I knew about, all that extended universe, is gone.
Yep.
So my knowledge of the Star Wars universe has shrunk incredibly. So all these young kids now know way more than I do, and I don't even really have much of a reference other than obviously memorizing the movies and all that. But yeah, it was a weird, like, Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah, and that's the thing that we could possibly get with some of the other properties that are brought underneath the Disney umbrella. So I don't know, like the whole backstory and the whole universe being shrunk by Disney. I understand that was a calculated move by them, to shrink it and bring it back to like kind of hit the reset button so the younger fans can understand what's going on, and us older dudes would be left high and dry. Um, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be a pretty interesting thing if it does actually happen. We get the Deadpool, we get the Wolverine, we get the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, all in the same universe. But what does that cost us? I mean, I don't see Seth MacFarlane being too cool with this.
Well, and it's like where I know, once upon a time, Disney was in control of like Dimension Films, and they were making horror movies and blood and guts and stuff like that. But where does the line get drawn with Deadpool? Say, is Disney really going to release Deadpool as we saw the first movie? I know when I first read about it, I was like, oh, cool, finally we might get a good Fantastic Four movie. But then you sort of realize it's not just Marvel that's getting Marvel back, so it won't just be the X-Men. It's all of Fox. We're talking like Fox News. We're talking channels. We're talking, like Brandon said, Bob's Burgers, The Simpsons, all that stuff. And you think about it, right now, Disney has a very specific release schedule for Star Wars, very specific release schedule for Marvel. At what point do we stop seeing all the movies, all the TV, all the books, whatever that we want to see, because Disney is maximizing their investment? And sort of what we were talking about before, it's cool because I think they really have captured what Star Wars is. I think The Force Awakens was really good. I thought Rogue One was fantastic. I like that we're getting a Star Wars film every year. But if you look at something like the Muppets, they've owned the Muppets for a long time, and they really haven't cracked the code on how to make routine, good Muppet movies. They made one, but we're going back to like Muppet Christmas Carol. They really haven't done a good amount of them.
Right.
So are they going to have that problem with some of these other properties coming in?
Well, Michael Caine was the secret ingredient for Muppet Christmas Carol, just like Tim Curry was the secret ingredient for Muppet Treasure Island, because both of those.
Treasure Island was not one of the good ones I was referring to.
Wait, what was that?
Treasure Island was not one of the good ones I was referring to.
It should have been.
This one's been good.
It should definitely be on that list. Muppet Treasure Island was the bee's knees, dude. Don't even act like that wasn't a good Muppet movie. That was a hella good Muppet movie.
But anyways,
Brandon also likes the prequels for Star Wars, so go ahead.
I put up with them. They're not like my favorite, but I rewatch them to get the story.
Brandon loves Jar Jar.
I love Jar Jar more than I love Hayden Christensen, so that's fine.
You're not helping your argument, man.
It wouldn't be a podcast if I didn't bring up. Maybe the one good thing outside of the comic books is maybe they just shut down Fox News. That would be dope.
Like, what would my in-laws do?
Fucking dude, I don't know, but I would fucking find Tucker Carlson out on the street and be like, "Where are you gonna go now, Bill O'Reilly Jr.?" But anyways, not to get political, but yeah, it is interesting. I mean, yeah, I'm stoked at the idea for the comic book movies, but you don't really think about all the other stuff like The Simpsons, Family Guy, all these other things that Fox is in charge of. Like, is that going to bleed over into all this other stuff? Like, what is that going to do?
Yeah, well, given kind of Disney's track record, and also talking to Jim's point about the Muppets, they get to pick and choose. I mean, you think about all the properties that Disney has bought, but we still can't get our third Tron movie.
Yes, here.
Yeah,
like, right. I really want that fucking Tron movie.
Right. I mean,
and they created that one too,
right? Exactly. And it's like, oh, never mind. But then they're building like a Tron roller coaster in fucking Disney Tokyo. I'm like, hey, dicks, give us a movie.
Give us a movie. The exact amount of money you probably spent on that Imagineering and building that coaster, you could have pumped out a movie.
100%.
At least just close it out for us.
I gotta tell you too, though, like even the idea, it's like I love Disneyland. You guys know this. I'm fucking obsessed. I just went to Disneyland. It was fucking great, but it's like that place is so busy now, and they keep upping the ticket prices because they want people to stop coming. But then they're also like, "Hey, here's Star Wars Land," and it's like, you fucks, like you can't stop, like.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we're upping the prices because we want it to be unaffordable, but also we're opening Star Wars Land, and all the Marvel superheroes are gonna be walking around the park all summer. Have a good fucking year. Like, god damn it.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know if I can take much more of them like integrating shit into the park, because it's just like they're gonna own everything.
Exactly, and there lies the problem: is they will end up owning everything. So
They figured it out, because I remember, I think we all talked about this, when they bought Star Wars or Lucasfilm, which also includes Indiana Jones here eventually. They paid like $4 billion for it. And at the time, we're like, oh my God, that's unbelievable. I'm pretty sure they're very close to already making their money back.
Yeah,
of course they are. Well, not only that, fucking George Lucas gave it all away. I want to be that rich.
Yeah,
I love it.
Fucking dick. I mean, I'm not like mad he gave it away. I'm glad he like gave it to like people who needed it, but also like I want to be so rich I can give $4 billion away and just be like, whatever, dude. I don't need it. I'm rich. Buttholes.
Yeah, exactly.
But they've definitely made that back. I mean, you had Force Awakens, you had Rogue One. Both of those did great. I mean, on top of that, you've got the animated series. Last Jedi's out in a week or so. Like, they're definitely making that back.
Yeah. It was
and merchandise.
Oh yeah, merchandise. Don't forget about the merchandise, because if it's one thing George has taught the world, is how to merchandise the fuck out of a movie.
Yeah, right. Now they get out these fucking porgs everywhere. Like
the porgs. Yeah.
I hope they're dicks. I hope they're little fucking assholes.
Yeah. So too. They're all cute and cuddly, and they're like gremlins. They just tear the shit out of them.
Exactly. I want to be fucking like, I want them to like fucking give Chewbacca lice or something.
They're fucking mugwise, dude.
Yeah, basically.
Let's see if they turn into something like.
Well, it looks like a couple other people are already getting in on this as far as like their opinions on it. Ryan Reynolds tweeted, "It's time to cut the sexual tension between Mickey Mouse and Deadpool." And then Chris Evans said he's looking forward to doing a buddy cop movie where he plays the Human Torch and Captain America.
Nice.
But realistically, I know, Jim, you were talking about how they used to do. You said Disney used to do horror movies back in the day.
Yeah, they owned Dimension Films, which was the non-Harvey Weinstein brother.
Yep.
Who owned it. And they did Scream was their big one, not all the Screams, but they did several horror movies. I think they even did the other one, the comedy one, Scary Movie. But I think they did a whole bunch of horror movies.
Okay.
Huh.
So, I mean, with Disney owning Fox, do you think that's going to change, like something like Deadpool? Like, because, they won't market Deadpool in a fucking theme park or some shit. That's just, you know what I mean? Like, so what do you think the line's going to be with all of that?
That's a good question, because they had a relationship with the Weinstein Company anyway when it was Miramax, and Miramax made Tarantino films. So there's that, but then they also got out of that business a while ago. So I honestly don't know. I don't know what Disney's what they'd want to do now. Honestly, right now it looks like they just want to make money, because you look at all the layoffs they're doing at ESPN, and they're trying to make more money out of that entity. So maybe that's just what they're trying to do. They're not necessarily keeping a certain look for the whole overarching company. They're just looking for things that can make them money.
Yeah, which, like I said, it's a very Disney thing to do. you just kind of you'll lose your identity just a little bit, and turn around and make a shit ton of money, and it just goes in the catalog.
Yeah, call it a day.
Yeah, call it a day. That is it.
I mean, realistically, I wish Disney was looking at buying DC so they get their fucking movies on track. Like, I take it neither of you guys have seen Justice League?
No.
No, thank you.
It's it's not good.
I was expecting you to say it's not horrible, but
no, it's not like it's just fucking confusing. Like Jason Momoa is awesome, but that's because Jason Momoa is awesome.
Yeah.
Gal Gadot is awesome. She kills it as Wonder Woman again. But like everything else just feels so. Like you guys saw Superman, Batman,
yeah,
right? Or Batman, Superman, Dawn of the Justice League. But okay, that whole movie, Batman's like, I gotta fucking murder Superman. Superman's a dick. Superman's a piece of shit. Like he's basically Lex Luthor the whole beginning of that movie, where he's like, I just fucking Superman's an alien and he's gotta go.
Yeah.
And I hope he dies. Fuck him, fuck his family, until you find out his mom's name's Martha, and then he's like, I gotta save your mom. My bad. You got a mom, I got a mom, we're friends now. And then like Justice League is the exact opposite of that, of him being like, we gotta bring Superman back to life. Superman's the best. Everything sucks now that Superman's gone. And it's like, you were trying to kill him. You almost had it.
You almost had it done, and now this.
It was rushed, man. And I got to tell you, too, like, Ezra Miller is a great actor, and I like him, but that's not Barry Allen. Like,
right.
He's a wisecracking, like, nervous, like, haha, oh boy, I'm the young guy on the team. I don't really do much. I just run and push things. And it's like Barry Allen is a fucking forensic scientist. Like, he's a smart dude. He's calm. He's collected. It's funny because like Barry, any incarnation of Barry you see now is either Wally or Bart, because they're the comedic relief. Even the comics now, it's like he's Wally West. Like he's not the Barry Allen we used to have. I don't feel like that's who he is anymore. And this movie, he's legitimately Bart Allen. He's like this young kid who's just like, haha, I'm running on impulse. And it's like, God damn it. But it wasn't good. The ending was like kind of a cop-out, and then I heard they were going to do a different ending, and I'm like, well, why the fuck didn't we do that ending? Like, that would have been way better. There's two extra
I didn't
credits.
see it, but I find it ironic. I'm seeing these petitions and like Kevin Smith saying, let's get the Zack Snyder cut. And I'm like, well, he did 2 other movies that everybody hated. Why do you want to now?
Yeah, but dude, Kevin Smith went fucking crazy for Batman Superman. I listened to his review on that, and I was like, "Did you write comics?"
Did he watch the same movie? Yeah,
he did. He saw it in theaters with Jason Mewes, and he said like as soon as they saw a parademon, they were like, "Holy shit, dude!" And I'm like, "That's what fucking saved the movie for you, was a nightmare flashback of Ben Affleck fighting parademons." Like, fuck yeah, he loved that movie. He fucking loved that movie, and he loved Justice.
I will admit, I've only ever seen the extended version. I've never went and saw it in the theater, and it wasn't as bad as people talked about. But I think we broke it down before, and I was like, I don't know why they did that, because this movie makes sense, and the one you guys described didn't make any sense.
Right.
I don't know if I watched the extended version. I mean, I'll give it a shot, but dude, I'm not a fan of any of this shit. And like Jason Momoa was cool, but it's just like, he's not going to save the movie. You know what else? Super irritating about the DC cinematic universe? No one gives a fuck about hiding their secret identity. Like Bruce Wayne goes to fucking Norway or whatever, and he's all like, I'm looking for a guy that fucking gives you guys food. And then he like, Aquaman reveals himself, and he's like, I hear you talk to fish, and does this like stupid fucking smile. And then like they're walking back, and it's like all these other people are around, like the 2 of them, as they're walking back to the ocean, and he's like, so you dress up as a bat? Okay, Batman. Hey, you're Batman. Batman, Batman, Batman. And I'm like, dude, are you gonna punch him for telling everybody you're fucking Batman? Or he's like,
Right.
oh, they don't speak English. This is
Yeah, right.
Norway. Despite I was speaking English to everybody, but that doesn't fucking matter.
It's called Google Translate, bitch. It can happen.
I fucking get, but dude, it's like everyone doesn't like even Superman now. It's like, Superman's there and it's like he's fucking Clark Kent. Like everybody knows like you can't not put this together. I don't know, man. It's the little things. And I get I'm nitpicking and I've had friends that don't read comics that are like, it's really good, man. But I don't think it is. I think it sucked.
Yeah, I would have to probably agree with you. Like I said, the only thing that they're doing correctly as far as DC goes right now is their TV shows. And like speaking of TV shows, the Crisis on Earth X, that crossover series, the big crossover series that happened, was it this week or last week? It was this week.
It was last week.
Last week. It was last week. It was last week. Was awesome.
So good.
So good. So it was a 4-part series. It was basically, your standard, 4-hour movie or whatever. But it was so flipping good. And it all centers around, Iris and Barry getting married, I thought the writing was actually pretty good for a change because I'm not a big fan of Arrow anymore. But they started off with Arrow. What was it? Supergirl, and then Arrow, and then
it was Flash and Legends, and then it was Supergirl and Flash, and then Legends and Arrow.
No,
right? No,
it was Supergirl, Arrow, and then it was Flash, Legends.
Well, here's the cool thing: is last year's crossover, you could tell which episode was which. In fact, the Supergirl episode was just a regular episode until the end.
Right.
And then it was like, oh, look, we need your help. Whereas this one was billed as a crossover. The intro was the same intro for all 4 shows. Like, right. I think they're learning that you need to do that more. And the other thing is it gives you a whole nother hour to tell a story because Supergirl's not in the same universe. Right. She's got her own shit going on. So right. It's cool that from the get-go, everybody's fucking integrated. Like, that was really cool.
That was really cool. And did you spot the Easter egg in the wedding ceremony?
Which one?
The Barry and Iris's kid.
No, what?
You guys didn't get that one?
No, what the fuck?
Okay, so and Iris kid. Let's see, Iris.
You mean the Tornado Twins, and then they have Bart?
No, so this one, not the Tornado Twins, because I thought it was going to be something like that, but there was the girl that was serving them drinks.
Oh, okay. I
see now for me there was a couple different things in the dialogue. So maybe it's just me, but like I interview people for a living, when I'm not I don't like to say interrogate, but sorry. I interview people, and one of the dialogue between Iris and Barry and the kid, if you go back and you watch it, the kid she's half black, half white, clearly, the way she looks.
She's the one that's like, don't forget to say I do, right? Like
don't forget to say I do. There was
that weird, but I couldn't figure it out. Okay.
And she's like, and what the thing was that she's nervous. She says, I'm nervous because I've always wanted to be here for this. And then I was like, well, why would you always want to be here for one particular wedding? And then it goes into like at this time, and tells her dad to say, I do. So I think we're going to see her somewhere down the line because
so one of the Tornado Twins.
Yeah, one of the Tornado Twins. So it could be one of the kids. So I thought that was actually pretty freaking cool.
That is awesome.
So next time you go back and watch the episode, if you have it on demand or something like that, listen to it and listen to what she says and how she says it, and you'll see characteristics. The funny thing was that she looks like Iris, but she acts like Barry in the scene. So
I didn't catch that shit at all, man.
Yeah, it's like they do stuff like that in Flash all the time because remember when they had the Hal Jordan Easter egg.
Yeah,
it was just for a brief second. And I don't know, maybe because I don't have any life or anything like that, and that's why I pick up on these things, or maybe it's because I do investigations for a living. That was one piece that I caught, and my son actually caught it as well. And I was like, there may be something to this. And then, we went down that path of figuring out who was who and what was what. So outside of that, though, it was awesome. Spoiler alert, if you haven't heard or haven't watched it, Gray actually dies. I didn't think he was going to. I didn't think they were going to kill him off as a character, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But,
if you haven't watched the episodes after, fast forward like 15-20 seconds here real quick, go now. But the other guy's off the show too now, so Firestorm's done.
Yeah, he's off the show too.
Which I wonder if they're going to bring back Stephen Amell's
brother, Robbie.
Was it his brother or his cousin? It's his brother.
His brother.
I think so. Either way, because that'd be cool. I'm down with that.
I'd be cool with that. I mean, I'd be interested to see what next Legend they bring on. I mean, I kind of lost Legend because it's not exactly like something I can watch with my kid. With White Canary sleeping with everybody on the show, so that wasn't exactly something I could watch with my son. But it kind of jumped the shark a little bit for me because it wasn't sticking to like the comics as much as I really wanted him to. Because you saw the ring in the promo for Legends, you're like, oh shit, and then it's like, well, okay, kinda Legends of Tomorrow. So same thing with Arrow. But the crossover itself overall, though, was really, really good. I mean, I think the chick that plays Felicity in Arrow is, like, hot.
Dude, she's the fucking, like, okay, yeah, she's hot. I bet she's a cool person. I bet she's a great
person. We've triggered Brandon. Hit the button.
I hate that character. How many times have you been in a life-threatening situation and you still act like this is your first fucking time doing anything? Like,
no.
Shut up.
I completely agree with you that it is overacted and the character has zero development at all. But
it's not her fault. Like I said, I bet she's cool. I think I've seen her like one or two other things that like she does a good job. She's a great actress. It's just that fucking character hasn't changed at all. Like, despite facing death almost weekly, she's still like, you're fucking punching Nazis in the face from an alternate world, and you're still like, I'm nervous, blah, 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 blah. Oh my God. For fuck's sake.
I mean, that is true because we've even seen development with Iris, throughout Flash. She went from the damsel in distress to taking charge.
To being like, I'm going to punch a Nazi in the dick and take his gun.
Exactly.
She doesn't. She's like, I threw a punch. What do? This isn't a keyboard? Holy shit. Sorry. Again, me and my friend always go back about this because I'm always like, can she just like grow?
Yeah, as a character, just please grow as a character.
Anyways,
but like I said, it was well executed. Crisis on Earth X was very well executed. I love the Nazi versions of these superheroes. God, I can't remember the Superman storyline.
Red Sun.
Red Sun. It's very Red Sun-ish. That was dope. And I was like, okay, this is cool. And they just pulled it up, wrapped it up, nice and neat, tidy little bow, and it was all done. You
Done,
know,
done, done.
that's how you do a crossover. You know.
Now with Black Lightning starting in January, you think they're gonna push it into 5 episodes next time, or?
I don't know. I think they need to first find out if Black Lightning's got legs, because I
I
don't
hope
think
it does.
I don't think it's gonna have it, bro. I don't think
You
it's.
think they're doing too much?
I think they're trying to do too much. I mean, I like Black Lightning as a character, and where they're going with him and how they're doing it, but the outfit seems kind of cheesy. I'll be honest with you. And I would have to wait and see like what exactly they're doing with the character itself as a whole. I mean, I said that. I mean, yeah, I don't know, because I mean, Luke Cage is, you can't even compare it to Luke Cage, because Luke Cage was one of those characters that were that was no name and nobody knew about, but they just turned it into something that was ridiculously good.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think, pun intended, I guess.
Aren't you a Black Lightning fan, Jim?
Yeah, I was just going to say that our friend Tony Isabella, right now, Black Lightning isn't part of that universe. But like Patrick's saying, I think they're going to try and see if it's a popular show.
Yeah.
And if it gets the ratings, then it can easily be assimilated
Right.
over. But I hope it makes it. Have you guys read the new comic that launched, written by
I was
Tony?
just about to read issue 2.
It is. I like it so far, and I know, Brandon, you can make fun all you want, but it's set in Cleveland,
Nice.
and that's like the coolest thing ever.
He's just fighting like the whole city, like 'cause it's all like just garbage criminal.
He joined the Cleveland Browns, and
they won a game.
and they won. It was amazing. Check it out. It's awesome. The story arc is they win the Super Bowl.
Oh boy.
One game.
Shut up,
one game, a single game. They did it. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I didn't realize they hadn't won a game yet, I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. I pay for that NFL Sunday ticket just to be pissed off.
Gotta catch my Browns in LA.
Yeah.
Shit, there they are.
You screwed up, man. You got two teams. You could have just easily been like, "What are you talking about, Browns? No, I got my Rams and I got my Chargers."
No, I'm a Ram. I like the LA Rams. I have to say, I'm an LA Rams fan from the Eric. I have a signed Eric Dickerson picture from when I was a kid. So I was like, all right, I can get down with the Rams. And on top of that, the Rams were originally a Cleveland team.
Yeah, I know.
Oh shit!
And they won a championship, Brandon.
Yeah,
Dick.
1934, but they were a Cleveland team. It was the Cleveland Rams. So,
and they moved the next year.
Yeah, they moved. They're like, thanks, Cleveland. We're out.
Goodbye. I wonder if the Browns are like approaching LeBron James and are like, "Can you play football? Like, can we? You're the only thing that bring winning to Cleveland. Can you help our football team out?"
Yeah. LeBron had a dig on the Browns. What was it, Jim? You remember the dig he had? He's like, "I've never gone 22-1 in anything in life," and I was like, "Oh,
damn."
Well, that was the. So I saw a meme this week. The Cavs had won 12 in a row, and the Browns had lost 12 in a row. I was like, God damn it!
That's hilarious.
Sorry, folks, for releasing all this anxiety from the factory of sadness that is the Brown Stadium. But yeah, back to
the factory of sadness.
You've never seen that video?
No kidding, man.
No.
Look up the YouTube and Google factory of sadness. Do it after this. We're gonna have to cut this. We're gonna have to cut this shit out because we've been going on about it.
We talk about sports sometimes, guys.
Yeah. But
no, seriously, like 2 weeks ago, the worst thing I kept getting. People sending me, "Hey, the Browns can still make the playoffs." It's like, shut up! Stop sending me this video.
Yeah. Are you trying to make sure we don't win a game at all, ever? And I feel bad for Hugh Jackson too. I almost bought tickets to the game.
I was wondering if you were going to go.
I was going to go. I was full on planning on going until they hadn't won a single game. And,
I think that was the first game they actually covered the spread too.
Yeah. So, yay.
So much fun to listen to.
That's why I'm rooting for my Vegas Raiders, baby.
Your Vegas Raiders.
I will not support them till they get here. I've spent my entire life talking shit about the Raiders. And until they are in Vegas, I will continue to think they're a garbage team. But then, as soon as they touch down, I'm going to be black and silver Raider Nation, baby.
Yeah, right. That's going to be funny.
Oh, yeah, because you see me fitting in the Raiders game. Like,
yeah.
Hello, sirs. Are we here to throw the old pigskin around?
Yeah, I could totally not see that one.
Let's do some sports ball.
Let's do some sports.
Let's do some hockey. I mean, that's from this. Did you
Hockey,
guys? Did you see the Chance the Rapper skit on Saturday Night Live?
That was the fucking best shit ever. The NBA announcer who had to talk to do the NHL games. He's like, man, your last name is an S, J, and a K all together. I ain't pronouncing that.
He's like, that's 3 consonants, not doing that.
Yeah. He's like, how's it down at the ice? He's like, it's cold. It's real cold. It's like, real cold.
All right, let's do some hockey.
Yeah, let's do some hockey. He's like, they kept pulling off sides. You think they're going to get it together and kind of focus more on the goal, staying behind the red line? And he's like, yeah. Yeah, that shit was great.
That was awesome. All right, well, I think that'll about do it for us.
Yeah. For anyone that made it through the sports talk, we appreciate you.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, thanks for letting us talk about that. But yeah, anything else you guys want to add before we send off?
Nope, that's it. If you guys have any suggestions or comments or something that you would like us to talk about, feel free to put it in the comment section below, or send us a message via Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and that's about it.
Also, we'll have another Throwdown Thursday on Instagram and Facebook tomorrow. So be sure to vote on that. We'll talk about it next week or next. Yeah, we're gonna shoot for next week here.
And tell us why. Do you think?
Yeah, like give me some reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
And if it's good, we'll mention you.
Yeah.
We will at your handle.
Exactly.
Or if it's really bad, we'll mention you.
You'll get talked about.
Yeah, either way. So
either way,
it's 50-50.
Exactly. All right, guys, be sure to follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, subscribe to this pod. I mean, I assume you are if you're listening to this right now, but do all that fun stuff. Check us out on LinkedIn. Apparently, we got a LinkedIn. I still don't know what LinkedIn is really, but we're on there.
That's why.
Exactly. But anyways, yeah, thanks for listening. See you guys soon. And until then, everybody have a nerdy week.